Hi, my name's Tony Daring, and welcome to Lesson 4 on the pathway to better brain health. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of getting a good night's sleep, because your brain really needs that.
In the Native American tradition, a dream catcher is a source of protection. It is believed to ward off negative dreams while letting happy dreams through. For all of us, a proper night's rest plays a similar role. It helps ward off cognitive decline. You can take that from Dr. Rudolph Tanzi of the Harvard Medical School, one of the country's foremost Alzheimer's researchers. During the filming of the recent PBS documentary, Every Minute Counts, he was asked to name the top 5 things we can do to fend off dementia. He said, first and foremost, remember, what's good for the heart is good for the brain, so exercise. He views exercise as the number one priority, and most experts agree on that. We covered exercise in an earlier lesson. But Dr. Tanzi's choice for number 2 was a surprise. He said he used to consider diet and nutrition as the second most important thing, but recently he's changed his mind. He now puts sleep at number 2. He says that's because now we've realized over the years it's during deep sleep, what we call slow wave sleep, is the only time your brain doesn't make the amyloid that creates the plaques that are associated with Alzheimer's disease. We know this from research done on the brains of mice. Jeffrey Iliff, a brain scientist at the Oregon Health and Science University, recently explained this to NPR. Iliff says that during sleep, there's a clear, clean solution called cerebrospinal fluid that recirculates through the brain, cleaning away toxins. That includes the toxins that create Alzheimer's plaques. Think of it kind of like your brain going through a car wash. If you're not sleeping well, your brain isn't getting clean during those hours that you're tossing and turning. Sleep is when our brain processes and encodes memories. Dr. Bradford Dickerson, a neurologist at Massachusetts General Hospital and a leading expert on brain changes and memory disorders, told Bottom Line Health that people who don't sleep well find it difficult to obtain and retain memories. He also says during sleep, during those slow wave stages of sleep, that's when memories are shifted to brain regions where they become more stable. Add all of that up, and you start to understand why Dr. Tanzi moves sleep up to number 2 on his list of ways to protect against cognitive decline. Now, he says, religiously, I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because if you don't, you might as well be smoking cigarettes or sitting on the couch eating 2 bags of potato chips a night. It's the same thing. So that's important advice for anyone. And for people who are experiencing mild cognitive decline, getting a good night's sleep becomes even more crucial. It's very common for people with MCI or Alzheimer's to have poor sleep patterns. But don't forget, a serious memory problem doesn't automatically mean dementia. There are many other medical conditions that can result in memory loss, and some of those are sleep-related. One of the biggest is sleep apnea, which is brutal for cognition. According to the Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research, sleep apnea is common in older people, especially men, and those who are overweight. It occurs when the soft tissue at the back of the mouth and throat relax during sleep blocking the airway. People with sleep apnea often snore loudly and can wake up hundreds of times during the night, resulting in grogginess and fuzzy thinking. And according to one major study, people who have sleep apnea or other sleep breathing problems are at a far greater risk of developing MCI sooner than those who don't. Researchers from the New York University School of Medicine looked at the medical histories of some 2,500 people between the ages of 55 and 90. For people with sleep breathing problems, the average age of developing MCI was 77. For those who didn't have sleep issues, they typically didn't develop MCI until the age of 90. That's a huge difference. So you want to do everything possible to make sure you're getting a good night's sleep. When it comes to restless nights, we tend to think of that as an inevitable consequence of aging, but it isn't. Consider the expression, sleep like a baby. We know what that conjures in our mind. But when we think of sleep in later life, our image is much more likely to be of a restless, fitful, interrupted sleep. One of the biggest misperceptions out there is that older adults need less sleep. That is not true. No matter how old you are, you still need 7 to 8 hours of sleep to be healthy and at your best. That's what you should be shooting for. When people in their 60s and 70s or older have trouble sleeping, it's not a product of aging per se. More often, it's a result of other things that we're more likely to experience when we get older. Look at this list of the most common reasons that people ages 60 and over have trouble sleeping. This list comes courtesy of Medline Plus. The factors can include alcohol, chronic disease, problems with medications, herbs, supplements, or recreational drugs, depression, which is a common cause of sleep problems in people of all ages, not being physically active, pain caused by diseases such as arthritis, and stimulants such as caffeine or nicotine. All of these are conditions that can be addressed, and doing so can allow you to sleep more soundly. So yes, if you're someone who's fighting to slow or halt the decline of your cognition and you're struggling with sleep, there are things you can do to help get a good night's rest. But before we talk about what you should do, let's talk about what you shouldn't do, or at least what you should be cautious about. So a word of warning here. Beware of sleep medications. They are all too easy to reach for, and they pose a serious risk to your cognition. According to Brain Be Fit, certain prescription medications and over-the-counter medications are notorious for causing memory loss. Prescription sleeping pills are among the worst offenders. And it's not just prescription medications that can diminish your memory. A large study found that over-the-counter sleep aids significantly increase the risk of dementia. If you're having trouble sleeping, talk to your doctor about that. A physical exam can identify the cause of the problem and the right way to deal with it. For most people, a sleeping problem can be improved through treatment. There are also things that you can do on your own to sleep better, although not necessarily counting sheep. It turns out that's been dismissed as an old wives' tale. Instead, here are some proven suggestions for sleeping soundly. Get in some physical activity during the day. Exposure to sunlight in the morning also helps regulate your sleep cycle. Avoid eating or exercising in the last 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Don't drink coffee or other beverages with caffeine after mid-afternoon. And don't smoke. If you're a smoker, your body experiences nicotine withdrawal during the night, which interrupts your sleep. And then, in the evening, make your bedroom a sanctuary of sleep. Have a good bedtime routine. Darken your bedroom by closing the blinds and set the room temperature so that it's neither hot nor cold. Try to get to bed and get up at the same time every day. Don't watch TV in bed, and don't have electronics such as your phone in the bedroom. Electronic devices emit a blue light that interferes with your ability to sleep. If you can't fall asleep, don't lay awake. Get out of bed and then go back to bed after a while. If you're not sleeping well at night, try to avoid napping during the day. Follow that advice and you'll greatly improve your chance of sleeping like a baby, or like a kitten, or like something cute anyway. So congratulations, you've completed lesson 4 on sleep.
I've created a worksheet that you can use to rate yourself on these various risk factors. You'll find it below. Scroll down and you'll also see a list of resources. If you want to save the information from this lesson so that you can review it again later, there's a sheet of fast facts that you can download or print out. As always, I want to remind you that this site is educational and is not intended as medical advice. It offers information about lifestyle choices that have been proven to help protect cognition. Always consult your doctor before making changes that can affect your health. So how about this lesson? Did it help you identify something you might want to work on? Is there anything that you want to know more about? Leave a comment or question in the comment field below or send me an email. If you know someone else who might benefit from this lesson, please forward it to them. And when you're ready, I invite you to continue on to lesson 5. I'll see you there.